Have you ever wondered why some habits stick while others don't? It's a question that has puzzled many of us. We all have habits, those little routines we do without even thinking about them. They're an integral part of our daily lives, shaping our actions and ultimately our futures. But what makes a habit? And more importantly, how can we make them work for us, not against us? Habits are powerful. They can propel us towards our goals or pull us away from them. They can be our greatest allies or our biggest obstacles. They can shape our identities and influence the course of our lives. Whether it's the habit of exercising regularly, eating healthily, or waking up early, each habit, no matter how small, plays a crucial role in our overall success and well-being. Yet not all habits are created equal. Some seem to take root effortlessly, becoming an automatic part of our routine, while others require constant effort and often fall by the wayside. So, what's the secret to creating lasting habits? How do we make sure that our habits stick? The answer lies in understanding the science of habit formation. You see, habits aren't formed overnight. They're the result of repeated actions over time, ingrained into our neural pathways. And while this might sound complex, the good news is that once we understand how habits are formed, we can use this knowledge to our advantage. We can create habits that align with our goals and values, habits that are resilient and lasting. Forming lasting habits isn't just about willpower or motivation. It's about understanding how our brains work and using that knowledge to create positive change. It's about setting ourselves up for success, one habit at a time. And the first step in this journey is understanding the power of habit. Understanding the science behind habit formation can empower you to create sustainable, positive changes in your life. So, let's delve deeper into the world of habits. Let's explore how we can harness their power and make them work for us. Let's start the journey of making habits that stick. So, how do habits actually work? Well, let's dive into the fascinating concept of the habit loop, the underlying mechanism that drives our habits. Imagine a three-part cycle, like a spinning wheel, that keeps our habits in motion. These three parts are the cue, the routine, and the reward. Starting with the cue, it's the trigger that initiates the habit. It could be anything: a specific time of day, a location, a feeling, or even a person. For example, if you have a habit of going for a run every morning, the cue might be the alarm ringing at 6 in the morning. Next comes the routine. This is the actual behavior that we typically think of as the habit. In our running example, the routine is lacing up your shoes and heading out for that morning jog. The final part of the loop is the reward. This is the positive reinforcement that tells your brain, hey, this feels good, let's do it again. In the case of running, it could be the rush of endorphins, the satisfaction of completing a goal, or maybe the quiet solitude of the early morning. The beauty of the habit loop lies in its simplicity. It's a straightforward yet powerful pattern that our brains follow, almost like a well-rehearsed dance. But how do we get our brains to learn this dance? The answer is repetition and consistency. The more often we repeat a habit, the stronger the connection between the cue, routine, and reward becomes. Over time, this connection becomes so strong that the cue alone can trigger the routine and anticipation of the reward. However, it's not just about mindless repetition. It's about consistent and mindful repetition. It's about recognizing your cues, being aware of your routines, and savoring your rewards. By understanding the habit loop, you can create a strategy for forming new habits that stick. It's like giving yourself a roadmap, a guide to navigate the journey of habit formation. And remember, every journey begins with a single step. So let's take that step together, shall we? But how do you choose the right habit to focus on? That, my friends, is a question of utmost importance. The habits we adopt should be in harmony with our personal values and goals. They are not just routines we mechanically follow, but small steps towards the person we aspire to be. Imagine your life as a beautiful canvas, and your habits as the strokes of paint that gradually reveal the masterpiece within. Now, would you want to use colors that don't align with your vision? Of course not. In the same way, the habits we choose should be a reflection of our personal ethos and the life we desire. So how do we identify such beneficial habits? The answer lies in self-reflection and introspection. Take some time each day to sit in silence, free from distractions. Ask yourself, what are my core values? What are the goals I want to achieve? Write down your answers, and don't censor yourself. Be as honest as possible. Once you've identified your values and goals, the next step is to align them with potential habits. For instance, if one of your values is health, and your goal is to lose weight, A beneficial habit could be daily exercise or mindful eating. If your value is continuous learning and your goal is to improve your professional skills, reading industry-related books could be a great habit to adopt. Remember, a beneficial habit should also align with your lifestyle. It's not about making drastic changes overnight, but about taking small, manageable steps that fit seamlessly into your daily routine. If you're a busy professional, you may not have time for an hour-long workout, but a 15-minute walk during your lunch break could be a feasible alternative. Lastly, it's crucial to remember that this is not a one-size-fits-all process. Each of us is unique, with different values, goals, and lifestyles. What works for one may not work for another. So, be patient with yourself, experiment, and find what works best for you. Choosing the right habit is the first step towards a successful habit formation. It's about making a conscious choice to sculpt your life, bit by bit, into a work of art that resonates with your true self. And remember, every masterpiece starts with a single stroke. Now that you've identified your new habit, how do you make it stick? Well, it's all about strategy, my friend. And the first step in this strategy is to start small. If your new habit is to start running, don't aim for a marathon on the first day. Start by running around the block, then gradually increase your distance. The key is to make it so easy that you can't say no. Now, consistency is the name of the game. Doing something consistently makes it automatic. If you want to make reading a habit, try reading a few pages every day. Over time, this small act becomes a part of your daily routine. Do it at the same time each day to help cement it in your mind. Before you know it, your day won't feel complete without it. And then comes the fun part, celebrating small wins. Every step forward, no matter how tiny, is a win. Finished reading a chapter? That's a win. Ran an extra block? Win. Celebrating these victories, big and small, not only makes you feel good, but also motivates you to keep going. But here's the thing. Forming a habit isn't always a smooth ride. There will be days when you just won't feel like it, when the old routines beckon. This is where patience and persistence come into play. It's okay to have off days. What matters is that you don't let them derail you. Get back on track as soon as you can. And lastly, remember, change takes time. It's said that it takes about 21 days to form a new habit. But truth be told, there's no magic number. It might take some longer, others less. The important thing is to keep at it, no matter how long it takes. Remember, forming a new habit is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient with yourself. It's about progress, not perfection. Keep moving forward one step at a time. You've got this. So, what happens when you face obstacles in your habit formation journey? Well, don't worry, we've all been there. It's a part of the process. The path to self-improvement isn't always a straight line, and that's okay. Here are some tips to help you overcome common obstacles. Firstly, let's tackle the big one, lack of motivation. It can be a real hindrance to sticking to new habits. But remember, motivation isn't always going to be there. That's where discipline comes into play. Make your habit a non-negotiable part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth. Over time, it will become second nature. Next, let's talk about the scarcity of time, a common challenge we all face. However, it's often not about having time, it's about making time. Prioritize your new habit in your daily schedule. Even if it's just 5 minutes a day, consistency is key. Now, on to the fear of failure. This can be a tough one, but remember, every stumble is a step forward. Each time you fall off the wagon, you learn what doesn't work for you, and that's valuable information. So don't fear failure, embrace it. Lastly, remind yourself of your why. Why did you want to form this habit in the first place? Keep that reason at the forefront of your mind. It will serve as a powerful motivator when you're feeling low. Now, let's summarize what we've covered today. We've talked about the power of habit and how it can transform your life. We've explored the habit loop and how understanding it can help you form new habits. We've discussed how to choose the right habit and the importance of making it stick. And finally, we've shared some tips to help you overcome common obstacles in your habit formation journey. Remember, the key to forming lasting habits is understanding the habit loop, choosing the right habit, being consistent, and overcoming obstacles. You have the power to create positive changes in your life, one habit at a time.